My brother's older than me by 3 years. I mean, he was born brain damaged. He's 68 years old. I have to bathe him. I have to brush his teeth. I have to do his toenails. You know, he's not capable of doing all that stuff.
My children, because of their autism spectrum diagnoses, needed a lot of care and therapy when they were younger to be able to succeed.
He's 19 years old. He started having seizures when he was an infant, and he has Lennox-Gastaut syndrome, epilepsy.
We are utterly dependent on Medicare, Medicaid, to help with all of the things that he needs, including housing, clothing, food, dental care, which is very limited. There's very limited services, so we really have to work as a team with other community members to really give them a fulfilling life.
Lawmakers really need to understand the consequences fiscally and emotionally, that are going to impact people like me.
I think there's a big generalization that Medicaid is just poor people. My daughter's disability is severe enough that if she didn't have Medicaid, she's at an institutional level of care. So she could be living in an institution at the government's cost without these services. So that service is based on her level of functioning and her ability to be successful. So it's not just for poor people. I rely on it for my life, and many of the people that I am friends with and have children with disabilities rely on it so that our kids get the things that they need, so they don't have to live in institutions, so they can be part of our community. They deserve that. That's their right to be part of the community, and my daughter cannot be successful without the supports that she receives through those programs.
We could not provide for our family financially or emotionally without the benefits of Medicaid, because you would be stretched so thin that you just couldn't make it work, and your family would crumble. And families are what it's all about. Without the family, which is the basic unit of society, how do you help your nation grow?
What we've got feels like a bare minimum. I mean, it's awesome. It's been wonderful for my kids. It's been very supportive, and they've blossomed because of it. But for some folks whose challenges are even more so, it's not just about blossoming and growing, it's about surviving. Without Medicaid, they won't. They literally will pass away. They won't have the coverage they need for in-home care or long-term care or severe and critical medical care. Medicaid supports all of those things. We're talking life and death here. We're not just talking whether my kid can have a successful job or not. For some people, it will be they won't live. Medicaid supports their life, and they won't live without it. So it gets pretty black and white. There's not a lot of gray area in this mess.
You're hurting us. Would you look at your family and say, I'm going to hurt you today? Would you? No, you wouldn't. So look at what I'm telling you.
Any cut to Medicaid is really short-sighted. It's short-sighted for the economy. It's short-sighted because people who won't be able to work and contribute to the economy, they'll be home struggling to survive, to take care of family members. When with that little bit of help, it frees everybody up to function in the community and contribute.
I feel like there's this attitude that people need to take care of themselves, and I think that's easy to say when you don't face the challenges that we face every single day. Some days we call ourselves warrior moms because every day is a battle for us. And we have to wake up and go to war for our kids and make sure they get the things that they need. And sometimes it is a battle with our child, and we don't know how to deal with behaviors or things that are out of control for our children. And without people guiding us and helping us with those, we can't make our children successful. So I think it's easy to say that that we need to deal with things on our own and be independent and not rely on the government for those services. It's easy to say, but it's a lot harder to live.
Our life, our demeanor depends on one thing, and that's Medicaid. Carefully consider how you vote when it comes time.
You don't gain anything cutting funds that help disabled people and people who need a little more medical assistance to reach their best ability. It damages communities, it damages families.
You're not just working with numbers. Those numbers are people, and people, that's why this nation was created, for the chance at life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that was for everyone, not just the selected few that could pay taxes or could walk or talk. That's for everyone, including people with disabilities.